Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right. So, guys, I want to just share a few things with you this morning in regards to the abuse panel last night. That was the most speculative piece of dog shit I've ever seen. But what I want to do real quick this morning is I want to see, I did this yesterday. I want to show you exactly what we're dealing with here right now. Pardon me. First things first. Let me take this off for just a second so y'all can see me. Fuck. All right. Guys, let's talk about it. So, Chris M., I want to give you a short rundown on what Chris M. and the the TIR room is really fucking good at right now. This is the murder of Stephanie Crowe. The murder of 12-year-old Stephanie Crowe took place in her bedroom inside her home at an Escondido, California, sometime between late night, January 20, 1998 to early morning, January 21st, 1998. Now, since then, we have really narrowed down our means in our science of TOD, which is time of death. There was no sign of forced entry. Stephanie's window was found unlocked, but a screen was in place and there was no disturbance of accumulated grime and insect traces. A sliding glass door in her parents' bedroom was also unlocked. No knives were found at the scene that seemed consistent with the murder weapon, and no bloody clothing was found despite an exhaustive search. Now, Stephanie's 14-year-old brother, Michael Crowe, was interrogated for hours by police using what? The Reed method. Without his parents' knowledge and without legal representation. Michael denied any involvement hundreds of times during the interrogation, but eventually confessed in what is regarded as a classic example of a false confession. Two of Michael's friends were also interrogated, confessed, and charged with Stephanie's murder. The interrogations were conducted in such an egregious manner, combined with other evidence that pointed to a transient schizophrenic who lived in the area, that the boys were eventually declared to be factually innocent by a judge. Fuck! A judge, not a jury. This is a special deal here. The transient who was seen in the neighborhood on the night of her murder was eventually convicted of manslaughter. Of all the things, now this gentleman has been fucking given a compassionate release for COVID-19. Although the conviction was subsequently overturned, a new November 2, 2013 retrial acquitted him of all charges. Now, I need to get myself a helmet because I'm about to bash my forehead on some shit. I don't know if I need to go on and on and on and on about this part. Now, Google. How long was, hold on. Just bear with me, guys. So, how long was Michael? Oh, there we go. Crowe in jail. That is not correct. But you can see the actual suspect. There was just problems with this thing all around, guys. I got allergies like a bitch. So this gentleman, he did 17 years and then ultimately had his conviction overturned as well because of prosecutorial shit like being unfairly limited during cross-examination of a fucking prosecution witness. Fuck! Michael Crowe was in jail. Eight fucking years. You want to know what the fucking problem with this is right here? Now, we had the Reed technique that is infamous, Chris. Infamous. You know how well it worked before you got Michael Crowe in the box. Michael Crowe, because of fucking Chris McDonough, did 8 years of his life after his initial conviction. 8 years. Now, that is the second most tragic part about this whole motherfucking thing. Okay? Is that a little girl was murdered and then her brother was convicted subsequently because of Chris McDonough's shitty fucking detective work and his stress test level analyzer. Okay, so 8 years, this boy, he left when he was 14, 15. He came home in his 20s, lost all of his teenage years and his sister, and didn't get to grieve with his family because Chris M. used the Reed technique. Now, what's ultimately fucking disgusting about this, Chris, is you let the real fucking killer run for... You let the real fucking killer run for 8 more years, sir. I ask you, what did the real fucking killer do in the 8 years he had to run free because Chris M. made sure... I mean, was Chris M. working with Mr. Tootie? That's the only way it looks. It looks as if Chris could have been friends with the real killer of Stephanie Crowe and was like, hey, buddy, I'm going to let you make it. I'm going to put the fucking brother in jail. So you got 8 years to get out here and fuck up on good folks' money until we're going to reel you on in there, bud. And then we're going to fuck around and we're going to overturn your conviction. Then we're going to pay out $7.6 fucking million for this fucking mistake. Right? So now, Mike King at Profiling Evil, sir, I applaud you because I can clearly see that you are turning your back, Chris M., and creating distance. Good for you, sir. That's why you can still go on fucking court TV, and the likes of this guy cannot. Now, boy, you got me fucked up this morning, Chris. Now, we all know about the Kanika Jenkins case, right? Hooah! 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 So, we know this guy is good for making up evidence that lets the real killer walk free. Guess what? His credibility was shot back in the 90s. Now it's 2021 and we're letting this fool jump in here and do the same shit. Sorry, Aussie. So, we know in the Kanika Jenkins case, that whole fucking thing unraveled because of things called pixelation, things called hieroglyphics, things called video leeching. We had these phenomenons in the video that made it look like things were going on in the video that actually weren't. Right. Now, shouts out to Mike King for creating distance between you and Chris M. That's a real good thing, sir, because if you want to continue doing what you're doing, you need to step the fuck all the way. You need to turn your back on that man. Next. Where we're at in this whole investigation now is we are at the ever familiar place where we start getting the fake media. It happens every case. This case, I am particularly disappointed in Chris because he should know better, right? So what he's done is he's fucked off all of his opportunity. Hold on, guys. He has fucked off all his opportunity and access to the real situation here. So now what he's reporting from his hind tit If nobody knows what hind tit is, a dog has 6 or 8 breasts, nipples. The weakest, smallest dog gets the hind tit. That's down at the bottom. Hence, sucking the hind tit. Now, he is running this investigation from his command center, sucking hind tit. And the best that he can do last night was start to try to analyze fucking screenshots. Monkey Mar, shouts out to you, babe. Although I will say that this is a fair use disclaimer. This portion of this video will be used for educational purposes and constructive criticism. Thank you, Monkey. I know you will not be disappointed, as I have shared your video in my fucking community. Shouts out to you. Shouts out to her. If y'all are not subscribed to Monkey Mar, man, go on over and make the commitment, right? So, but for now, we're going to talk about this shit. Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear this video I'm about to play. Can you hear that shit? I'm not going to go on and on this morning yelling at nobody, man. I'm going to go ahead and get my business took care of and get the fuck up off of here. So come on. Can y'all hear it? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear it. All right. Fucking A. So what we're looking at here is a situation that for sure Chris is going to make sure the real fucking killer walks free, or the real abductor, or whatever this case ends up being. It doesn't matter who's really involved, because Chris M is going to be for fucking sure that the real one walks away free. Fuck you mean. Got me fucked up around here. Thank you, Monkey Mar, for this. Fair, yes, right.
Hey everyone, and welcome in or welcome back. It's a Monkey Mar. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you click the like.
Honey, we're just going to go ahead and all of us go subscribe. Go subscribe to Monkey Mar.
Hey guys, welcome in. This is going to be a very short video. I was watching a little bit of the interview room.
Now, let's start by saying, right? Every fucking picture we have of this little girl is a convenience factor photo. That means that it's a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot of a screenshot, and the real photo, we've lost objectivity of that. So when you start to screenshot after screenshot after screenshot, what you get is you get artifacts and you get defects from the original, right? Now, I've even seen pictures in this series of someone that must have had a cracked LCD screen, so that when they shared it, the crack inside the phone, the picture was taken of the crack, and it moved with the fucking picture. Now, what I will tell you is that when you screenshot, each time you do that and it makes a move, it loses quality, right? So how do you know this, Benny? Well, we have what are called picture lossless format. Now, RAW, BMP, PNG are lossless image formats. JPEG and WebP are lossy image formats. WAVE is a container file often used to contain lossless audio. Benny, what the fuck is lossless audio? This still isn't clear. These formats, when the original is locked in it and it is shared in RAW, BMP, PNG, audio in WAVE, right, or PTF, or a logic file, right? That means when you share them, the next person can work on it as an artist and it's lost no quality. The first original artist or the source of origin has captured it in a lossless file format, fellas and ladies. Now, are any of you sharing this in raw BMP or PNG? No, you're not, because those files are huge. Okay. So we've got that down, right? We all familiar with lots of media formats. Not thoroughly, but we got the ideal, right? So let me. I mean, you can see the difference right now. You don't have to be a trained fucking detective. This on the left is lossless. This is lossy, right? For instance, right here on the head, you see white, right? Come over here to the lossless, you can see red, right? We're all there, right? So lossless means that colors are added or subtracted due to the degradation of the lossy file. Fuck! Ugh. I'm gonna lose my shit. So now we're aware that there is different kinds of fucking media pictures. I'm so sick of this shit, y'all. I want this little girl to come home. This shit is tearing me up, man. This shit is tearing me up. This fucking idiot. He comes on here and he does this shit. And he wants us to believe he has no track record, guys, of being completely so fucking wrong and then getting so deep into it and realizing that he's wrong, that his ego won't allow him to put the real killer in jail, guys. Chris M., it doesn't matter how many people he fucking locked up after he put that little boy and his friends in jail for 8 years. They lost almost a decade of their fucking life. If you live to be 70, you just lost 1/7 of your whole life. That's terrible. Meanwhile, the real killer, he's able to walk free. It was such a travesty that Chris M. performed on this boy and his friends. Let me tell you guys, in America, you want to know how much the price of a year is? $1 million, hands down. No more, no less. Right? So young Michael, he spent his whole teenage years going into his 20s being abused in prison for a crime he didn't commit against his sister. Meanwhile, the real killer, he's out there. He's running around with just reckless abandon because he knows if he commits another crime in Escondido Beach, California, Chris McDonough is going to make sure he walks. Right? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just like, I really actually am like this needs to be done. This needs to be done for so many reasons on so many levels, guys. Like, I at this point, like I'm hanging in there by the whites of my nails because I too have an ego and I don't want to feel like I've been whipped. But when we get to the fake media phase of the trial, or yeah, of the online trial, right? So we had fake ass Emma at Crime Stories Obsessed, and we had junky ass Doug, and we had the very obsessive Aryan Brotherhood AB guy, right? These guys come up with these fucking fake messages. Thank God Aussie saw the fucking hole, took the ball, and ran the touchdown, right? She made the video to show you how you can do it. Then I followed it up yesterday about how you can make fake messages with no problem, okay? No problem. There were some people in the fucking comments and chat saying, oh, can you make this background look like exactly? Yes, it's called Facebook. You can make it look exactly like Facebook, okay? Now, that crew of people in every case are the ones that get down to looking at these fucking pictures. Let me tell you what's happened now. Chris M has completely removed himself from this investigation, and so now he is at the worst spot anyone could be, the bottom of the trough. We're just watching to see if he can pull it out of the fucking depths, right? Now, I see you, Don B. You're going like this now. You're getting squirrely again, bro, but we'll talk about that privately. So, Chris M., we're to the spot where we start seeing this coagulation of bad fake media like a scab, right? First, we saw the fake messages from Grandma Candace, right? Now we're looking at pictures that have no context, that have no objectivity, and there is no end game, right? So, fuck! Chris has, this is how you know, guys, Chris is about the bullshit, right? So Chris has all the fucking resources to send these pictures in and have them looked at even by a fake fucking expert that's biased with Chris's fucking indoctrination, okay? He didn't. He saw some pictures, he's out of stories, and he says, fuck, my palms are getting itchy. Let me go ahead and let me just take some media that's been fucking regurgitated 8,700 times and it's lost all of it, and it's now down to this right here, right? We're down to the lossy and the lossless files, right? And this motherfucker, he's not smart enough to do this right here. Because if he was ever a cop and was a real cop and wanted the real abductor in jail, he'd have looked at that shit and said, at this point, it's fucking irrelevant. What does that do? Does that bring that little girl home because you keep on with this bullshit? Fuck you mean? Yeah, you heard it here. Guess what? I heard from Dateline about Michael Crowe, you bitch. Playing around with this shit.
With Chris McDonough and his wife. And I am just...
And his wife, right? Now he brings this lady out of the fold, sits him right there so that she can, him and her can give each other these validation looks and shit. Like, yeah, honey, yeah. You know, we as long as we're on accord, our cult is going to believe anything we fucking say.
The path Summer Wells' case has taken is a complete effing circus. When I saw...
Thank you for that, Chris. Mike King, I hope you can be the savior to pull this fucking thing from the ground before it explodes.
The pictures that he was showing of Summer Wells saying that maybe she had bruises on her. I was mind blown. I thought to myself, an ex-homicide.
Yeah, Monkey Mar. I agree with what you say before you're getting ready to say it, right? Now, Chris M., what I want to tell you, sir, is that your eyes must be, how do I say? Your eyes must be defective, sir. because we've been looking at these same fucking pictures and people have been bringing up shit like, is this a brew? Is this a brew? For 75 days. Now on 75 days, you want to do this bullshit here.
Detective working on the cold case.
Shouts out to Plano Police too, Chris M. They had a shootout last night a mile from my house with a murder suspect in the lobby. Right? No police officers were hit. The suspect was, however, tagged up.
Case unit. Even if you thought those pictures of her had,
even if you thought that those pictures had bruises, the first thing you would have to account them to is having 3 brothers, being a young girl in the fucking country. That's first.
Bruises on her. Why on
No, but see, Chris M wants to go straight to the parents, right? Come on now.
God's earth would you put it on a platform so more people can go after more people in turn?
I'll tell you why. Because he's a fucking dumbass. That's why.
Summerwell's case into a bigger shit show, because this has gone so far that I can't even watch anymore.
Me either, Monkey Mar.
What I want to watch is the actual news, because
well, that's the problem, Monkey, is that we have a cop. We got a cop dangling his bait all in this shit. And so we have, I don't know, a few 100,000 people that are so fucking confused that they think that because he's a cop and he's got his real Midwest looking wife on there that it must be true.
This is really sad and disappointing. Let's get into the picture that I speak of.
Let's go to the next one.
Now, what I'm going to show you guys right now, I'm not going to do it to Monkey Mar. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is I'll go over to that video and hit child abuse. Report it. This is how you do it, guys. You go right here. You hit that, and then you go right here, and then watch this. I'm not gonna do a monkey, but and then you put in between 34 minutes and 37 minutes is the actual timestamp, right? So this is child abuse for him to do this. Now, what I want you to know is that there are plenty of fucking apps that will make a child's head look out of proportion like it does now. Let me tell you this. Right now, there is also an abundance of Halloween apps that will allow you to put scars, bumps, cuts, and bruises all over your face. Now, why is that important? Because, well, just let me continue.
This one is really alarming.
What's alarming, sir, is that with all the fucking science available to you, you find that alarming without running it past them first.
Because you can clearly, it appears, unless...
Is it clearly or fucking not? You back-stepping, sideways dancing motherfucker, you.
Somebody has mocked this photo up.
Of course they have. That's the first thing. He had to put it out. Listen here. This is what great conversationalists do. They put the truth out first, and then they cover it up with a bunch of bullshit about the speculation. And then the last thing you heard, you forget about the first thing you heard.
Okay. And God forbid if you did that to this little...
There. This motherfucker knows this is bullshit. Did you hear the sarcasm in that? I can. Because I've been doing, like, while the rest of y'all been, not the rest of these people, but you can ask Ozzy, while the rest of these fucking idiots are looking at children's heads that are out of proportion, I've been studying other things. I've been studying real fucking science, right? This motherfucker. You know what? It's the last ditch effort, right? He's got to bring that lady on and sit her. Look, She's sitting behind him.
Girl, in terms of somebody mock this photo up.
In terms of someone, boy, you.
Shame on you if you did.
Shame on you, Chris. You gave it life. You gave it a fucking platform, Chris. I never seen it put together like this until you brought it out. Now, also look right here. These are screenshots. These are not fucking lossless files. Oh, I got a headache, man. I can't. I don't know, guys. I don't know if I can do this shit anymore. Oh, God. I don't know, guys. I can't. It would be different if we had, like, legitimate ex-cops on here that didn't have this fucking bullshit that they've been involved in with a child's case. It was a child's case. He fucked up. Do you want this man handling your case? He put a child behind bars for all his formative years to be abused by adult inmates for his sister's death that he did not fucking commit. Took away 2 of his friends' lives too. This is y'all's. This is your Judah. This is your deity. This is him. Is this the best y'all could come up with? Come on now. Come on now. I'd rather be called a meth head all fucking day than be called a fucking cop that put 3 boys in jail and took away their life while he was supposed to be home with his family grieving his sister. I'll be a meth head all day long. You double-headed, fork-tongued snake motherfucker, you. I'm out of here, y'all.